All right, folks, so we have a video for you today. No, I'm gonna keep it short. Again, I think you guys like the shorter videos than the longer ones. So the topic of this video is just drawing objects and colors. So we won't go over too much with the colors, but I just want to show you one thing. So, and this is, I don't know what tonight is for the strategies, but tonight is November the 18th. So the strategy that we're on, I think we're like upper 80s or something. The win rate on this one isn't quite as high. I think it's like 40% here. Profit factor is 1.08. The performance graph on this one look like this. I'm not in love with it though. So we're going to get that out of here. We're going to come over to Workspace 2, and then we're just going to show you a few things that you can do with your drawing objects. So let's see here. All right, let's make it ShowMe 20, 11, 18, 25. We'll make it simple. Get this template out of here. Get rid of the outline. We're just going to make some drawing objects. So in order to do that, the main thing I wanted to show you today is that when drawing objects, you can have access to lots of different colors and color combinations and that kind of thing. Rectangle, rect, null, once, begin in. I guess I could do this within the method, but we'll do it here. Uh-oh. So we're just instantiating a rectangle there, create, and then we can go ahead and put the points in there. I'll tell you what, let's do that. We're going to make this a method. Method void x draw rect. Okay, and then here, so now we need the date time points or the bar number points. If we're on the last bar, let's just draw this 20 bars back, something like that. So if we're on the last bar on the chart, then once we're going to x draw the rect, and that's this guy. We got to get access to the date time point, which is there, but it automatically comes up because we've already pulled in the namespace for the drawing. So dt datetime point dot create. So we need two things: date time of the bar and the price. So the date time of the bar is going to be the current bar that we're on. So bar date time, and that'll give us a date time object, and then the price will be the current price. Let's do the low wherever we're at, and then we need another date time point. This would be the bar 20 bars ago, bar date time of 20 bars ago, and so we're going to use the low of 20 bars ago. Close that, and we do rect.lock equals true. Then we need to bring it onto the chart with drawing objects.add rect. We're gonna, all right, so we're just going to, let's see if we have any errors first. All right, so I think we need to close this out. Okay, now no errors, come over here. I'm gonna do insert analysis technique, YT111825. Use those shortcuts, guys, .iat. All right, so there's our rectangle there. All right, so now we're gonna change the color. So in order to change the color, let's change this color to rect.fill color equals color.blue. All right, see the color there? All right, so now you can take this and you can say, all right, well, I want the color to be a little bit off of that. So color.from ARGB. So the A is the opaqueness, the R is red, G for green, B for blue. So if we want it mostly to be blue, then we need not use red or green. And then A, So all these are based on a full value of 255. So 255 is a max, whereas you might think a normal scale from 0 to 100. No, it's 0 to 255. Okay, so if you want it to be fully opaque, you do 255. No red, no green, and then just full on blue at 255. Verified, you essentially get the same thing. You get a solid blue. Okay, so if we want to make this a little bit more opaque, then we make this maybe a 100. Okay, or if we want to bring in, if we want this to be closer to 200, so not fully opaque, but we want to bring in some red into the mix. What is red plus blue? I don't know. Orange. So let's bring in some red. Pink. Okay, I don't know. Let's dial down some of this blue. Okay, now we're getting into some unique colors. And then let's add a little bit of green into there. All right, a little bit more green, because that wasn't funky enough. Now that's pretty funky. All right, so now we're coming up with like an orangish. That's kind of cool. All right, so you can do that with drawing objects. Now remember, in order to get the color dot from ARGB, we're gonna right click it. I tell you what, we're gonna do color dot from ARGB, and then you see when I type in the parentheses, color comes from under dot drawing. Okay, so when you're using your drawing objects and you're doing, you're in this drawing space, your rectangles, your horizontal lines, trend lines, text, you can change all the colors. That's fantastic. Okay, now on the other hand, when you are on like RadarScreen, let me see if I can pull this up. New RadarScreen. Okay, so when you're on RadarScreen, let's see. I don't think this is set up to run for radar. Well, it's not, because it is a drawing object, and the drawing object won't show up on RadarScreen. So let's do this. Let's start a new indicator, and then we're going to call this YT111825 RS for RadarScreen. Okay, so we need to plot something on RadarScreen. We're just going to plot plot 1 is going to be the symbol. Kind of cool. Come over here. .IAT YT111825 RS. Okay, so now we plotted the symbol. Let's add a Microsoft in here, GME in here. All right, where's our symbol at? This is our indicator, YT. Now, if we want to change the name here, because we don't want this bizarre name here, then just come in here. You know what? I don't think you can do it like this, but I did see something. I'm curious. I'm going to check it out here. Okay, so it doesn't change the name here, but if you have multiple plots, then you'll see your plot 1 show up. Okay, so if you have multiple plots, instead of symbol, we're going to do the date. Okay, so now now your symbol shows up for your first plot and your date shows up for your second plot. Okay, all right, so let's do ticks. All right, so if we want to change the background color, we'd have to do something like set plot background color of plot 1 to yellow. Okay, and you could do a similar thing for plot 2. We're going to make it green. Okay, now you're saying, oh man, well, it would be great if I could what? If I could take the colors that I had, on here, these custom colors, if I could put these custom colors on RadarScreen, that would be great. I agree. You cannot do that. These colors only work for those 8 or 16, whatever the colors are, the base colors. Okay, so you have the red, black, blue, magenta, green, white, whatever they are. These colors here, these are, yeah, of the 16 colors of EasyLanguage, these are the only colors that you can choose from when you're on RadarScreen. Okay, and pretty much everything else on the chart here as well. So the ShowMes, like these guys, and the indicators, all these lines, they only work with these 16 corresponding basic EasyLanguage colors. You cannot create custom colors for these indicators, ShowMes, and I don't think you can do it for you can't do it for the plot paint bar either. What will happen is it'll show some type of custom color, but then every time that it makes a new plot, the color changes, which is, it's weird to see. But these are the colors you can use: light grays, dark grays, da da da. Okay. So again, if you were to come in here and you were to go into because this is how you get to the. So we can't put in a dynamic color here. If we want to try to put in this dynamic color like we got from here, this color, very dynamic color, we custom created it. And now we hit verify. It's not verified. This is an unknown identifier. We don't know what's going on with color. Well, color is under the namespace of elsystem.drawing. So if we add that, now there's no errors, but now look what colors come up. This, and this is for plot 2, this is not the color that was coded from this guy. This is the color that corresponds to this color code. We got something random. Using the same color code, we got something random, okay? And it will happen every single time. Let's move it to an active chart, ESZ25. Okay, so you see it's already happening. When I change the chart, now let me change it to NQZ25. Now every time I change the chart, or you have some change, like I say, it could be a new iteration of a new plot or something going on, this thing will change. Let's move this to the 15-second time frame, or the. Can I go lower than that? Let's go to the 5-second bar. So now every 5 seconds, he's going to make a new plot. And you see, it's just changing colors. It's got this same hard-coded color code here, but it's changing colors on every bar. You cannot use custom colors in RadarScreen, guys. I know it would be cool and it would make sense, but you just can't, okay? Take my word for it. All right, let me see. Hang on, I'm gonna pause you, and then I'm gonna bring you over to my other screen and see if there's anything else I wanted to show you today. Okay, I'll unpause you. All right, the only other thing I wanted to show you today is I'll have to do another video on this later because it'll start getting long again. All right, so this is the script that I put together yesterday, and I tweaked it. I got it a bit better. All right, so this is just taking all of these symbols, and then it's adding the volume to shares output. Volume over shares outstanding, and then it sorts it into quartiles. Yellow is the inner quartile, red is the lower first quartile, and then the upper fourth quartile is the green. Okay, so this just helps make sure that we're trading stocks that have liquidity. And I need to make this into a function, or make the accessibility of the global dictionary into a function that I can then pull over onto my algos. This guy's on test, shouldn't be on test anymore. Did I do that? edit this guy, verify this guy. All right, now we can come over here and all right, this should not be tests, not anymore. I was working on a lot of tests earlier today to get some things sorted out, and I did get them sorted out. So yay! All right, and I think that's pretty much it for today. Yeah. So, one thing that I do want to work on here over the next week or so is the sectors. I want to have a similar kind of color coding algorithm that goes on that will sort which sectors are the moving sectors, which sectors are gaining on the day, or maybe they're what is it, beta compared to the overall index. Which ones are stronger than the other sectors. So that's what I'll be working on. All right, folks, hope you got something out of this. As always, code confident, trade calm. I'm out. Peace.